Welcome back to GloryHunter. We are hoping over the course of the next couple of days to add another trophy to the trophy room. We are at Euro 2028 with England, the side that we won the World Cup with in 2026, to hopefully narrow down the amount of trophies we need from 6 to 5. Today will be the group stage. We've Austria, Sweden and the Netherlands. And then hopefully, if we make it through the group stage, we'll have the knockouts for you tomorrow. Oh God, I am nervous though, because there aren't going to be many other opportunities to win the European tournament, because of course you only come around every 4 years. Oh, I'm genuinely actually quite nervous. So, let me show you the side that I'm going to play in the Euro tournament. Firstly though, let me say thank you to Aled for joining the Patreon. Thank you very much indeed, my friend. I appreciate that level of support very much. Your name has been added to the end slate on the end of every video moving forward. Thank you, pal. So, in the team management, we can show you that the starting lineup is similar to that won us the World Cup. However, the obvious change is Joe Gelhardt at striker in place of Tammy Abraham. Gelhardt now has progressed even further since that World Cup period. Gelhardt, his goals were instrumental in us qualifying for the Euros, of course, because we wasn't straightforward in the qualification stages against the Czech Republic and Poland, and his left foot is mainly the reason why we're here, so he certainly earns the start. There's no point reading it out to you. You can see for yourself what the side looks like, and then the bench and reserves are as you see them there as well. No Harry Kane now, though. He's completely dropped from the squad, as it's just Tammy and Joe that are going to lead the line for us. Right, we start with Austria. I'll show you the other groups, actually. I did show them at the end of the season finale yesterday, but to reiterate, England, Netherlands, Austria, Sweden, France, Germany, Hungary, Portugal. Now that is a group of death. Poland, Belgium, Iceland and Romania. Belgium, of course, the side that we managed at Euro 2024 and failed with miserably. Spain, Northern Ireland, Denmark and Italy in Group D. It's an winnable group, let alone a progressible group, but the knockout stages at the World Cup were so difficult and we were very lucky to get through in a number of occasions. But we did pull through and we did win the World Cup. So now let's follow that up by winning the Euros as well. Drop this video a like if you're enjoying the GloryHunter so far. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on the rest of Euro 2028 and of course our continued GloryHunter journey. But we start now with Austria. 4-3-3 attack for the boys in white, but for the boys in red for Austria, they're playing a slightly different formation. It's very similar, but theirs is more of a 4-2-3-1 wide with the midfielders deeper and further out. See their starting lineup in just a moment. They've got a couple of 84 rated players in there. Konrad Lehmer is still holding in that midfield for them. Patrick Pence is in goal. Kevin Danso is actually the captain. Danso, a player that we've got at Wolves in the Football Manager save over on the second YouTube channel and over on Twitch. Do come and join me on Twitch to watch the recording of all of the content live. Sasha Kalajic up top for them, the giant man himself, and Patrick Wimmer on the right-hand side at 84 or 85 rated. Saka, Bellingham will lift it for Gelhardt, having to drift wide from the striker role, but he's in behind and he's got the pace to get away, and on that left foot, gives us an early 1-0 lead. We are to go 1-0 up inside 10 minutes. England's number 9 does it again. He's the reason we qualified, and he might well be the reason we qualify from the groups to the knockouts as well. Looking for Saka down the line. He's onside here. B's in the box. B stands the cross, and on the volley, ooh-wee! Jadon Sancho, England 2, Austria 0. There was no stopping that one. Excellent cross from Bukayo Saka on his right foot as well, to be fair. Watch Sancho's movement. He darts into the penalty area and to the penalty spot, and there was no saving that. Sancho was key in our time at the World Cup as well, and it looks like we're going to be able to rely on him at the Euros too. That was a brilliant goal. Trent intercepts that nicely. We are all over Austria here. I didn't think it would be this straightforward in the group stage. We struggled. Well, nah, did we struggle? Kinda. Saka, 3-0. We did lose to Hungary, didn't we, in the group stage of the World Cup? and finished second and had to go through an awful run of fixtures in the knockouts to beat all of the big teams, basically, to reach the final. Saka with a lovely turn, and that right foot's just as good at shooting as it is at crossing, as we've found out so far today. It's 3-0 England inside 25 minutes. The Netherlands is going to be the game that really dictates whether we finish top or second. But if we can avoid defeat against the Netherlands and replicate this level of performance against Sweden as well, then surely we finish top of the group on goal difference ahead of the Dutch. Where you going? Wimmer. Yasits. Wimmer. Don't like this. And that's why. In the 3rd minute of 1 added on, Austria give themselves a lifeline. You expect the big man to be scoring with his head, but that one's come down low at his feet. Was just backed off there with Gomez. His arms behind his back, waiting to see where he was going to go. In the end of the 2 options he had, I chose to cover the one that he didn't go to. Goes to Sasha Kalajic, and Austria make it 3-1. Towards the latter stages of the second half, first half, I did try and force it forward too quickly. Oh, but we've taken our time with that one, not only with the play to build it up, but also with the finish. Sprinting away with Jadon, slowed down to make sure he could pick his spot. And did he ever pick his spot? How is the accuracy of that left-footed effort off the inside of the post? We started the first half on fire, and we're still red hot at the beginning of the second. You won't see many better finishes than that today. Rice, James, Rice to Reece, Reece to Jadon, Foden, lovely ball through, and it's Gelhardt's left foot that is the better one. We started the first half incredibly, and clearly Austria are just slow beginners, slow burners. They weren't up to speed at the beginning of the first half, and they're equally not up to speed at the beginning of the second. And what looked like, as we went in at the break, potentially a game that they could consider themselves in with a shout of getting something from, that's all gone now. Gap not only back to 3, but growing to 4. It's 5-1. Yes, it's Demir. I tell you what, Yusuf Demir's got some good bloody footwork, hasn't he? A nice one too. Baumgartner. Ramsdale makes the save. Could have been a goal back again for Austria. Goal difference may well be important for them if they can pick up their performance levels against Sweden and the Netherlands. So they're going to need to continue to fight to try and get themselves a second and maybe even a third if they can. And they came close to getting a second there, and they still could and have gotten that second goal. It's 5-2. Let's not over-celebrate it, shall we, lads? 22 minutes to go. Danny Liuk off the bench for Austria here. Into Kameri and Wimmer. And there is a third for them. 5-3. We're certainly going to have to defend better in later games, aren't we? Perhaps I'm being a little bit complacent here and not defending quite to the best of my ability, because we feel like the game is won, having scored 5 and there's only 7 minutes to go. But in closer games, we cannot afford to switch off at the back. Austria fighting hard to keep their European tournament alive. And if they make it 5-4, I really will be slightly worried for the remainder of the game. But we switched on defensively there, and Tomori made a good save, or good interception, sorry, without the keeper being needed to make a save. Mount will get that back there to Trent, or look to Tammy first, and runners include Mason Mount, who's in behind to maybe make it 6. Let's just make sure, shall we? 6-3, a 9-goal thriller to open our Euro 2028 account. Well, the 6 goals was all we needed. It's not really a phrase that you normally say, to ensure that we got a strong result there against Austria. Electric start to both halves, set us up very nicely indeed. Austria, to be fair to them, credit to them, fought back hard, but they just weren't good enough. Sweden versus the Netherlands ends in a Netherlands-Sweden 2-2 draw. That's brilliant for us, because now if we can just go and beat Sweden, then we're absolutely through. Javias's contract is running out at Malaga, but we're not worried about that at the moment. Sweden's starting lineup. They held the Netherlands, of course, so they're going to be decent. And, of course, understandably, Alexander Isak and Dejan Kulusevski in the front 3 are going to be the 2 main men for them. Nanasiak Cam is a player we're intrigued by in the GloryHunter at Malaga, and they've still got Lindelöf at the back to try and keep us out. We've made one change. Ben White in to the centre-back partnership. Other than that, we are as we were for the previous game. We hope to get victory here, but as we saw that they drew against the Netherlands, we will not get complacent here the way that, admittedly, I kind of did against Austria. Once we had a convincing lead, we nearly let them back in it. Let's not do that here against Sweden. Let's just do the convincing lead and then leave it there, shall we? Joe Mendes, our right back at Malaga, is right back here for the Swedish national side as well. So we do know something about some of their players. Obviously, Isak and Kulusevski are very familiar to those of you that watch Premier League football. Jadon Sancho to Joe Gelhardt on the run forward here is Reece James, who's in behind Joe Mendes now. We know he's decent. Arriving at the back post is Bukayo Saka. The cross is slightly under hit and not great. If we can win this header, we can keep it alive. Bellingham, Gelhardt, Bukayo Saka, Foden, goal! Brilliant play from England. Electric short passing. We lead early doors again. That was really nice. A lovely ball around the corner to Svanberg, who's in a dangerous position. Carlson to Isak. Ramsdale needed to make the save. I thought they'd overplayed it a little bit, and perhaps they did. But they get the set piece here, Sweden, looking for an instant response to going 1-0 down. Bukayo Saka's underneath this. That's going to be one. Oh my God, Isak with the overhead kick that comes off the post from the tightest of angles we've ever seen an overhead kick attempted from. Sancho gets up to win that. I can't quite get rid of this with Declan Rice. And eventually, somehow, we scramble it clear. Sweden causing us problems defensively, for sure. We are very good going forward, but we seem to be a little bit shaky at the back so far. It's a lovely ping from Bellingham into Reece James and back to Ben White. Forward to Phil Foden. Into Declan Rice. Sancho, well, he's in great form, so maybe a worldie is part of his repertoire. It wasn't far away at all from the Manchester United winger. 2 excellent goals in the first game and nearly an even better one in the next. Forward to Nanasi. Carlson. Into Alexander Isak. I'm trying to get there. I won the ball. I'm sure I got something on the ball with Ben White. Isak is furious with him. Now, the double jeopardy rule, if it's still in effect, should mean I don't get a red card here, but I do. Ben White into the lineup. Sent off. Right then. That changes things. Penalty for Sweden. Carlson from the spot. Keeper goes the right way. Carlson buries it. Well then. That is going to change the outlook of this entire game because there's still so much of it left to go. I could have sworn I felt like I could get there with Ben White. As the ball plays through, I thought I can get to this. I can get to this. And he takes a heavy touch when he turns inside here, Isak. Just there. And I think, I'm just there to be one. And, a matter of a couple of inches away. No, he does! He touches the ball! Unbelievable! Ben White, definitively, 100%, touches the ball there. VAR! VAR! Where are you? Drama in the European Championships. A red card that should never have been. Reece James to Jadon Sancho. We may be a man down, but we're still going to be dangerous going forward. Although Declan Rice might not be the man to try and pivot in that midfield and get forward. Now here comes Kulusevski. I still have a full-strength defensive line and 2 central midfielders, so defensively we should be just as strong as we could be. It's only going forward that we will be short on numbers. Well, we might just take our time here, but a point would not be enough. We're going to need to make sure that we get ourselves in front and then perhaps take the foot off the gas and try and get back into our defensive shell. Jadon Sancho again. What a block by Ekdal. Brilliant stop. Corner to come in from Jadon himself. It's delivered well. Joe Gomez is underneath it. It's an excellent save by Wahlstedt. There's no goal to go in front again yet. Sancho will deliver again. And again it's Joe Gomez. And it's wide of the target this time. Oh, nice interception. Jadon quickly trying to find Gelhardt, but I rushed it. Declan Rice has won it back. And I'll look left first. And then look at Jude Bellingham getting away from the man that's with him. Jude Bellingham looking for... Ref, I'll take the foul, please. Svanberg, a yellow card for him. A free kick in a very good position. Bukayo Saka's the man that's on it. Is he the best free kick taker we've got? Certainly not. Trent Alexander-Arnold's taken this. Thank you very much. Well then, Trent, please get this into the back of the net, pal. I'd very much like a 2-1 lead. Trent Alexander-Arnold. Oh, draws a brilliant save from the keeper. Wonderful free kick. It's Joe Gomez. It's 2-1 England. The man that was sacrificed for the starting lineup because he was a little bit tired now comes on as we got a centre-back sent off. Now he's turned goal scorer. Joe Gomez pile drives that at the near post and the keeper can't keep it out. We will take the lead before half-time. Now we can settle into a defensive shell and see through 3 points. Isak. Oh, Nanasi, nice little flick. Jens Kajuste. Kulusevski. Where's he going? Straight into the defenders where he's going. We're not going to rush forward. We don't need to bomb bodies into the final third and leave space at the back for Sweden to exploit. Here's Jadon Sancho. Intercepted, but Saka will find the ball out wide to Reece James. And a cross will come in, and it's a very good one too. Oh, and Jadon Sancho is nearly on the end of it for another volleyed finish. It's Trent. It's blocked. It's Saka. It's blocked. It's Trent. It's saved by the keeper. It's taking our time here. Just got to see this through now. Less than 20 minutes to go. If I can get a third, I'm not going to pass up the opportunity to, but we're not going to go all guns blazing for it. Saka could get us it here. But he won't. He'll put it in the bloody stand. As he goes off now, Bukayo Saka. Change is made with the game against the Netherlands in mind. But if we win this game, then we can play a fully rotated 11 against the Netherlands and not need to worry about it. Although that did see us finish second in the group, that particular tactic in the World Cup. Tammy looking for a third. Good save by Wahlstedt. So maybe we still play a stronger team against the Netherlands to ensure that we win the group. Oh, how has he kept that out? Brilliant header by Jude Bellingham. Unbelievable stop by the goalkeeper. Jens Kajuste's on the run here with 10 minutes to go. Sweden still only 1 goal behind, of course, and could yet get themselves back-to-back draws in the group stage of the Euros. Ramsdale forced into a save, and from one corner at one end to one at the other. Kulusevski to deliver this time. Olsen on for Nanasi now for them. And it's flicked on. And it will be a free kick. Sorry, oh God, it's not another penalty. Free kick for us for handball, thankfully. Mendes with the ball. I'll have that. No, I won't have that back, apparently. He's turned brilliantly. Kulusevski with options. Fouled from behind, was he? No, says the ref. And that will be game. 10 men is all we needed to get the win against Sweden. Still don't know if that was a penalty or not. Maybe it was a penalty, but it shouldn't have been a red card. I'm sure we got a toe to it. We had 15 shots in total. Netherlands facing Austria in their game next, of course. And the result in that one is a 3-1 Netherlands victory. So we are through. We'll get to that next game before we make any decisions about what we might do starting 11-wise, because it depends what the other groups look like. As to whether... It's only a 1-game ban for Ben White, thankfully. As to whether we actually care whether we're top or second. Portugal and Hungary. Wow. Hungary beating Germany. But any of those sides could yet qualify and or go out. Poland, Belgium look like they're going to go through. They play each other in the third and final game. So Poland or Belgium, not bothered about either of those that we may face. And Italy, Spain, I mean, we'd like to play Denmark if we have the opportunity to, but Northern Ireland are out, unfortunately for them. It will probably be Italy or Spain, as Italy have Denmark and Spain have Northern Ireland, and Spain and Italy drew 0-0. So you imagine the top two will stay the top two in both of those groups. But what will happen in Group B, I have no idea. So we shall wait and see. All we'll do then is just try and avoid defeat and ensure we win the group. Don't think it's actually going to make that much of a difference whether we're first or second, though. Justin Bijlo in goal for the Netherlands. They have a decent team, as you might well imagine. Matthijs de Ligt still playing through the middle at centre-back, but it's actually Pascal Struijk that has the captain's armband. Ryan Gravenberg is in the midfield alongside Timber and Simons, and then Brobby and Xerxes up top. Not Urien Timber, but I believe they're brothers, not cousins. It's Kentin or Conta or Quentin Timber. Not sure exactly how to pronounce it in Dutch, to be honest. But at 85 rated, he's very good. Both of them. Particularly impressive prospects in career mode. We are already through. They, I don't think, are guaranteed it if they lose this and Sweden win against Austria. It could yet see the Netherlands lose. We've made some changes of our own, actually, which I should probably tell you. Tammy, Elliott, Madueke, Gahey, and Chilwell start. Foden moved wide left and Sancho rested as well. So we're rotating a bit, but not massively. As we say, we're already through. Is that going to be a free kick for us for handball off Jordan Tezzy? It is. Well, Trent came very close in the last game with an excellent free kick. And hopefully this time we will be able to find the back of the net. Trent from the edge of the box into the wall. Trent from the edge of the box into a man that was stood in the wall. Noni Madueke with a dink out wide looking for Chile, but Javi Simons has cut that out. No early goal on this occasion for England. Going to try and play a bit of a different play style in this one to see if we can figure out how to play against bigger, better teams. We'll get used to playing against bigger, better teams because obviously he's offside there, Phil Foden, I think. The ball is going to end up in the back of the net with a lovely scooped finish, but it's not going to count. We went 2-0 down to win 3-2 twice of the 3 knockout round games at the World Cup in 2026. Now, because there are fewer teams in the Euros, there are only 3 knockout round games in the Euros. You go straight to the quarter-final stage, at least in FIFA. Obviously, in real life, it's different now, but they still haven't updated FIFA for the Euros. Hopefully, for EA Sports FC 24, we will have the right amount of teams in the right amount of groups. But we've had a goal disallowed for offside. Now they've had a goal disallowed for offside as well. It's 0-0, despite the fact 2 goals have been scored. Chile down the line to Foden. Who's out-muscled? Matthijs de Ligt to Trauda. Onside, Brian Brobby. Kept in play, Brian Brobby. 2 defenders in between, missed it. And Xerxes taps home into an empty net. I'll be honest, I thought the defender was going to clear that when I pressed the clear button, but he's just watched it go across his feet, straight to Xerxes. We trail against the Netherlands. If we lose this, that would see them win the group. He just kind of hovered a leg at it, Mark Gay. I'm not sure what's happened there with my centre-backs. All we know is now the 3rd time the ball has crossed the line, it's finally 1-0 to someone. Javi Simons into Brian Brobby. Oh, Xerxes just onside there. Borderline at the back. But he has himself a double, the front man. Disappeared there as he went to celebrate. He's so close to offside, but I didn't quite turn quickly enough with Joe Gomez. And the Netherlands are 2-0 up. Hopefully it's not a sign of things to come when we reach the knockout stages. But as it stands, Austria actually beating Sweden as well. So the Dutch can afford to lose this game and go through. But we'd have to turn this result around. And if we can turn a 2-goal result around, there's no reason why Sweden can't turn a 1 result around. But we don't look likely of turning around this 2 so far. I need to be better in this second half. Harvey Elliott gets away from his man. Looking to slot through Phil Foden, who's in behind here. Should have the pace to get away. And the finish is there as well. And that is what this England team are all about. We are very good when we put our minds to it. It's 2-1. Probably Xerxes on a hat-trick here. Out to Javi Simons. Oh, they do have a 3rd goal, the Netherlands. Brian Brobby this time the man to turn it home. Seemingly, the way to beat me is to play out wide and then just dribble with it a little bit and find a pass, because I can't deal with it defensively. How many times have we seen goals like that throughout the GloryHunter, let alone just with this England side on this particular occasion? I'm going to try and get Saka in behind here if I can. Malacius could be quick. It's Madueke, sorry, not Saka. Looking for Tammy through the gap. Tammy Abraham doesn't pull it back to 3-2, nor do we get a corner. Half an hour to go, and we're still 2 goals down. Although they've gifted me possession back again. Elliot has not got the strength to hold off the defender. Free kick for the Netherlands that couldn't be much closer to being a penalty, to be honest. Xerxes on a hat-trick. Doesn't have it. That was close, though. Couldn't come closer. Foden. Where do we go? Where do we go? Where do we go? Backwards, I think. And then out to Chile. Not out to Chile. But tackled in the middle. Gravenberch. Tackled by Mark Gahey. Might have made a mistake for their first goal, but he's certainly done well there. Declan Rice. I'll lift this looking for Foden and pray that he's got the pace on Gertruida, which I think he did. But, well, Gertruida is twice the size of Phil Foden. Declan Rice does well enough there. Can I get to that with Saka? I can't. It's Noni Madueke says, you've not got Saka on the right-hand side on this game. Come on, mate, wake up. Noni Madueke into Rice. Forward to Foden. Looking for the run of Tammy. Takes in his strides well. Tammy Abraham. 3-2. This game's not dead yet. Jordan Tezzy. Into the midfield. Timber. One way, then the other. I wish he'd make his bloody mind up because I can't tackle him. And, oh my God, that nearly bobbled free straight to the man that tucked it home. Xerxes offside, though, apparently. So, we get the let-off. Option down the line here is Foden. Gertruida puts the foot in, as you expect that he might have done. And Elliot, can I find the right ball? Yes. Can we find another one, though? Tammy rides the challenge. Finds Noni Madueke, whose effort is blocked well. Noni will be very familiar to the Dutch players and fans, of course, from his time in the Eredivisie. He's probably still in the Eredivisie, to be fair, in this save. Hasn't come across our radar in the save so far. I don't think I just couldn't get Frankie de Jong off the ball there. You lucky bastard! I've out-muscled him, but because the keeper's rushed out to it, it's bounced off the defender straight back to bloody Frankie de Jong. Oh, well, I felt like we might have been able to get ourselves back level in this game and make it 3-3. But I'll show you the replay because we weren't going to see it from the other angle. I out-muscle him. Oh, no, I don't. I looked to out-muscle him here and didn't. He's ridden the challenge well. As he gets through, he looks to pass it. It hits Gahey, who stops the sweat. But then it just falls straight back to Frankie de Jong, who's like, I'll tuck that home. All right, fine. Thankfully, not a knockout game. So we can afford to lose this and still go through to the next round. However, as we said, if we lose it, we will be finishing second in the group, as we did in the World Cup. And we are going to finish second in this group. Although we have certainly had a tough test against the Netherlands. I hope that come the knockout stages, we will be better. We have tried quite hard in this game, but it is going to be a 4-2 defeat to the Dutch. They're going to go through as group winners. We're going to go through as group runners-up. And who we face in the knockout stages, we'll find out in due course. Austria do beat Sweden. So they will actually finish second, as it happens. Right, I don't want to advance. Oops, that's Edit Manager, Ches. Sorry, Ted. We're going to leave you alone. I don't want to advance too far forward because the end of the season is coming up, and I want to make sure that we know exactly what's coming. What's coming is bloody Portugal in the first knockout round. I wanted to advance far enough so that I could show you the final standings in the groups. So we finished second, and we have Portugal. The Netherlands have Germany, so it didn't matter whether we finished third or second. It was going to be difficult. Poland have Spain, and Italy have Belgium. So it was Netherlands, England, Austria, Sweden. Portugal, Germany, Hungary, France go out. Poland, Belgium, Romania, and Iceland. And then Italy, Spain, Denmark, Northern Ireland. So we have the Portuguese up next. That will be the first knockout round, the quarter-final. But that will come next season, so to speak. So we'll actually have to go to the next season to play it. I'm not sure there. Setting on July the 1st. I'm sure we will. For now, yep, we're going to be ending the season at Malaga. So join me tomorrow for the opening part of the knockout stages of Euro 2028. And from there, we shall tackle Malaga's starting Season 7 after that. I'll see you tomorrow.